Casey recently caught up with Chris Bishop, the managing editor of Forbes Africa, to talk about Forbes as a brand and where it's branching into. Over to you, Casey.
Thanks, Tandy. Today we are chatting about media. We've got Chris Bishop, managing editor of Forbes Africa magazine. You also do TV. You've got Forbes TV. Tell us about that.
Okay, well, it started up a few months ago. What we decided to do is to launch Forbes Cover Story for both women and for Forbes Africa, where you know, we would behind the scenes shoot with the actual cover, because it's quite a thing. You've got lights, you've got studio, you get the guy dressed up in 3 or 4 different suits and what have you. And plus we interview not only the person on the cover, find out who they are, but also the journalists who interview them to ask them what they thought of it. Then we've got the other one, which is my baby, which I'm very proud of, called My Worst Day, which is a column we have there. Because I mean, the good side, everyone says yes, success, everyone says yes, millions, everyone says yes, someone's doing well, but what about when they weren't doing so well? And everyone enjoys that column. And that's nice, and I think it translates well to TV. In the fact that, you know, you get people there telling from the heart exactly what happened to them and how they struggled through. And I think everyone likes to hear those stories, but also you get something out of it, like a leadership thing, like inspiration.
And how to power through the challenges. Tell us about your worst day.
My worst day? There's so many, but I suppose being locked up in Zambia and being accused of all kinds of things, like spying.
Okay, as a journalist? As
a journalist,
This is not with Forbes Africa?
No, this was long back with another broadcaster here in Johannesburg. But essentially, there were some bombs. It was 1999. There were some bombs in Lusaka. And we went up to cover it as TV journalists. And one day we were filming people carrying water on their heads because the water system was down. At that moment, I felt something in my back. I felt like a gun barrel. I turned around and there was a guy there with an AK. And I said, hey, don't shoot, we're journalists. And they threw us in, and they split us up, took the laces and the belt. They locked us up, and they were saying, what are you doing here? Who sent you? What's your mission? What are you doing? What are you, you know, all that sort of stuff. And I tried to point out to the guy, you don't really do spying with a big camera on your shoulder. But it was unpleasant. We were checked in with all the guys, drunks and wife beaters and what have you. And eventually, it took a problem. I mean, it took us back to the hotel under armed guard, ripped the rooms together, handcuffs, the whole thing, in front of the entire, you know, clientele. And eventually, I managed to escape down the corridor. I phoned the news desk here in Johannesburg. They phoned the embassy, who phoned the president's office, and they got us out. Otherwise,
hopefully, you're not having such days nowadays.
No.
But I'm sure there are other challenges in being the managing editor, having a couple of shows on CNBC Africa.
It's very busy.
Tell us the challenges.
It's very busy. It's difficult time-wise.
How do you keep your eyes so wide?
I don't polish them. But anyway, but it's very difficult in the fact that you've got to manage your time I work long hours in the week, but luckily I do a job that most people I would pay to do it still. Sorry, I wouldn't say that, but I would do it for free because it's such a great job. I'm working with young African journalists who work hard, who are going to go on in the future, who are inspiring, who are really makes it, you know, worthwhile coming to work in the morning. With the TV, I still enjoy. I was in TV for 25 years. I still enjoy TV, and it's good fun, and I know how to do it. Blindfold, you know, you got that time in your life where you can actually relax and just enjoy doing what you're doing because you know you don't have to mess around thinking, how do I do this, etc. It's very hard.
Natural for you.
Long hours, but the team that I've got of young people working with me, they drive themselves. They're very professional, very hardworking. They're very proud of what they do, and it's almost humbling sometimes to work with them, but that's what keeps me going.
Okay, and your travels? Obviously,
I still get around.
Spending a lot of time now in African jails. But
well, no. They seem to have let me off on that one. But basically, I mean, I was in Switzerland this year. I'll be going to Australia next month. Mozambique, I've been there several times this year. We also get to go to Lagos, Nairobi, Zambia. Rwanda is another place we go. There's a good business story going on in Rwanda. We get to go there quite a lot. So.
Okay, no, but personally for you, how's the traveling been?
It's okay. I don't mind it. I quite enjoy it when it's pressure, especially when it's representing the company, because I think that, to me, that's part of my job. You have to go out there, people, and again, there's a lot of respect for people, experienced journalists on the continent still. So you have to go out there and represent the company and also try to get across to people what we're doing, enthuse about what we're doing, and exactly explain to people what we're trying to do with this company. And the point is that it can be a bit tiring sometimes. It's a nice breakaway. I have a young family. Well, not that young, but 14 and 9-year-old. So I don't like to be away for too long from them. But yeah, I mean, it's quite a challenge sometimes, but it just comes with the job. And
tell us the process of setting up an interview, because you said on Forbes TV you're shooting also. You also shoot the cover story, and so I'm sure you're spending hoping to spend a lot of hours with very important people.
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's funny enough.
Have you had to change a cover at the last minute?
Well, yeah, sometimes it happens because what we do. Okay, I'll leave some inside secrets here.
Yeah.
I always work.
Give us the scoop.
3 months in advance, always. Okay. With every story in here has been planned for 3 months in advance. Obviously, things that happen now, we have to get them in. But I always plan in advance, and with covers, I try to plan 4 to 6 months in advance, because covers can be a problem. Because sometimes, I mean, incredible things can happen. People can just disappear. You know, these guys are rich guys. Have to fly off to New York. We're stuck. So at any given month, I like to have at least 2, 3 to choose from, and then we can choose which suits us. You know, which maybe, for instance, like we have a man from East Africa in the current issue. Maybe someone from Southern Africa, this one, then West Africa, the next one, so that people feel, people feel that they're included, and people don't get tired of the same faces from the same region. But
Thanks, Chris. That was Mr. Chris Bishop, managing editor of Forbes Africa. You can follow him on Twitter at Chris Bishop ZA. Forbes Africa is also on Twitter at Forbes Africa. You can visit their website, forbesafrica.com. My name is Casey. Thank you for having joined us on ED. Stay tuned on the channel. After the break, we've got much more knowledge, much more inspiration for you.